Hey.
Hey. You ready to tell your story?
Yeah, let's do it.
First team All-District, first team All-State, is the 2018 All-Metro Defensive Player of the Year, committed to play football at Duke, 2018 Most Valuable Player, 2018 Tiger Football Captain, number 24 senior DeWayne Carter.
It's scooped up, headed the other way is DeWayne Carter for the touchdown!
I used to always call him my little man because he was like a little man. I swear he's been here before. Very bright, very funny, just always joking around, you know?
Well, hello, little iPod.
Well, hello, DeWayne.
Who said that? Who?
It was me.
I had the type of parents who just threw me into everything. So I think my first sport, I was either 3 or 4, was like the youth soccer. So I'm running around like the little tykes, running around kicking the ball, scoring goals, whatever, just being active, learning how to play on a team. And then from there, it kind of took off.
There you go, Baba!
I begged to play football since I think it was kindergarten, but I didn't end up playing until the 6th grade.
Football is no in between, you know. You either got it or you don't, you like it or you don't. And from him, I wanted to see that from a competitive standpoint. And he's learned that through his baseball skills and soccer skills. I had to let him go. He begged me too much, man.
The kind of household I grew up in was very loving, caring, and supportive.
Basically, treat others as you would like to be treated. Always put in your best effort.
For the most part, it was like, just play hard, compete, and attitude and effort. And still to this day, my dad texts me every morning, every game, like, control what you can control. What's your attitude and effort? Like, I love you, have fun. And that's kind of like the main message it was in my household. Outside of sports, I'm very involved as well. And that started at a young age. I went to Vacation Bible School at a church across the street from my neighborhood. I was at my high school. I was a group part of student council. I was the vice president.
So working for a nonprofit, we did a lot of work in the community. DeWayne was always there going to the events, and we would put him to work. He saw, other people that were less fortunate from him. He enjoyed that atmosphere and being around and hanging out with them. So I think that really helped to mold him.
So being a Duke man, that name holds weight, no matter where you are. And that just goes for across the country. I'm studying here and actually educating myself to better myself as a man. And I'm just excited to see what my future holds. I can't wait.
You close your eyes as a dad, you can't make this up. This is Duke University, and it's one of the most prestigious universities in the world. And to have an opportunity to go there, it's hard to say no to that, especially when they really want you.
My main goal at Duke was to leave a legacy, whether it was football, school-wise, on campus. It was to leave a legacy, like not in a selfish way, so like, oh, people need to remember me, but in a sense, like, I want to make a place better than I found it. 2019 was my freshman year, and then unfortunately, COVID pandemic happened the back half of my freshman year, and obviously, everybody knows, along with the COVID pandemic, it was social justice issues.
Tonight, cries of Black Lives Matter and Hands Up, Don't Shoot.
Hands up, don't shoot!
Echoing from coast to coast. The largest day of demonstrations for George Floyd yet.
And a lot of divide and horrific things that went on in the country at the time. So it kind of fueled me to learn. So we had a march. We got to the chapel steps, and I'll never forget. We all kind of like looked around like, who's gonna say something? Because it was like that awkward, like, all right, we did it, now what? And so we're like, somebody needs to say something, like everybody looked around. I kind of just stepped forward and spoke from my heart and kind of went off of what I was feeling at the time, spoke to what I had learned. Just various different issues just started flowing when I was speaking. And that's kind of how I feel like, or the point I feel like I really earned the team's respect.
2nd and 7, ball outs. Mitchell dropped it. It's scooped up by Carter. You mentioned it. The 3-time captain, Mr. Duke, has a touchdown.
It's been an honor to play with someone like DeWayne, Mr. Duke.
And look who it is, Mr. Duke, DeWayne Carter, doing it again. Dave, it's been the story of his career.
He keeps showing up. The effort, the enthusiasm, the physicality. He has been such a big playmaker for the Blue Devils. No wonder they call him Mr. Duke.
People around here, they do call me Mr. Duke, and it's starting to trend. But I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out my guy, Brandon Hirsch, I will say he was the first one to say it. And I think it transpired into something serious. As times went on, like, I kind of take pride in it. I think that just kind of speaks to something I was trying to do here when I first got here. I'm involved in United Black Athletes here on campus. I'm involved in the Student Athlete Advisory Council. And I've just been invited to mentor kids. I've been mentorship programs. We do reading with the Blue Devils. I read to elementary school kids. Habitat for Humanity was really my jumpstart to community service here. I've coached a youth baseball team. I joined Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the chapter here at Duke.
DeWayne, but in Omega Land, they call me. Yeah.
It's funny. It kind of is awkward saying all this out loud because one, I don't really like to talk about myself, but two, I guess I don't really realize how much I've done in the grand scheme of things, so I think it's pretty cool. And I feel like when it comes to service and servant leadership, I think the best thing you can give somebody is your time. People aren't gonna remember you for what you gave them, whatever money you gave them clothes, whatever it may be, but they're gonna remember you for how you made them feel. And I think that is the main contributor, time.
DeWayne Carter, terrific kid, man. He's a grown man.
I always told him that God created him to be great. And I also made a poster of that and put it in his room. And I remind him of that constantly. And I feel like he's lived up to that. I feel very blessed to be his mom. And I learn daily from him, things that he does and how he treats people.
It's special in itself being a captain under two different staffs, two different regimes, and people don't know you. That says a lot and speaks volumes for who you are as a person. The best thing about it has nothing to do with football, and that's most important to me. I think he has so much more to go, which is crazy.
Yeah, so once I'm done playing ball, I want to go down the education track.
It's a blessing. We got to get back today, read, participate in the 2nd and 7 Foundation, especially doing something that I hope to do in the future, which is teach.
And education, to me, is a very broad term. It doesn't always just mean teacher. It can mean many different things, but I do think I belong in a classroom at some point in time. But I believe my ultimate goal is to get in that Boys and Girls Club space, like YMCA type of thing, and open like some type of community center. And I think that'd be really beneficial for whatever community I decide to build it in, and for me as well, because I think that's where I'll thrive. And I've always said I wanted to be that person that somebody needs, right? So if it's a father figure, an uncle, a friend, cousin, just a strong adult mentor, someone they can trust, someone they can look to help guide them and lead them through their next steps up through their life, I think that's a role I do really well at. If I had to leave a message to somebody, mine would be, just be you. It's authentic. Nowadays, especially in this day and age, a lot of people are not trying to be themselves. They're trying to be who they aren't. They're trying to be somebody else. And my mom always told me, if someone thinks you're not good enough for them or whatever, just tell them to kick rocks. And that's it. So definitely, at the end of the day, I think my message is be you is more than enough.